Hey guys, how's it going? This is Davey and you're watching the Chess Total channel. And today I'm going to show you a game played by a subscriber who has a 500 ELO rating. And I'm going to show you what his main mistakes were, what errors he made during the game. He's actually my friend here on chess.com. If you want, you can add me too. And I'm going to show you what his main mistakes were in the game. And for those who follow along, I'll point out what the mistakes are and how you can improve at this rating range so you can reach 1000, 2000 and keep increasing your ELO here on chess.com and on other chess platforms, alright? So, let us now commence with a thorough and detailed analysis. I'm going to present to you here a specific and particularly interesting game that he played. This notable match features the formidable player RDM competing intensely against the equally formidable opponent Zeno. Alright, let's start the game then. And I'll show you, whenever I spot a mistake, I'll point it out here, okay? So he played normally, developing the pieces. Up to this point, everything's fine. He played the Italian and the opponent responded by developing the knight. He played here, okay, developed wasn't the most accurate move, but he developed. Right? Because here he can capture, and here he gains this tempo. Alright? Because here you helped him develop his pieces. But okay, it's not that serious. And here comes the first mistake from the opponent with the black pieces. Why? Chess is a race. Yeah, I'm going to say this to you a lot. It's about who can develop their pieces better, who can get their pieces into play first, because when you start the game, all the pieces are in the same place, everyone is on equal footing, right? So whoever can develop their pieces better will have the advantage. In other words, it's a battle of development and control over these four central squares. Alright? So you have to rush to develop faster than your opponent. When he makes this opening here, when this move g6, he forgets the objective, which was to develop a piece. He could play here, he could play here, because he's moving this piece just to control, moving a piece to a more central square with more attacking options. Yeah, it wasn't the right time to fianchetto the bishop here. Why? Because here on this square, let's see how many, if he puts it on this square, how many will I have? How many attacking squares? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at how many squares you would have with your bishop on this square here, right? And if you were to put your bishop here, you would kind of find yourself having locked your bishop at a crucial time when you absolutely should not have fianchettoed it, and that particular move gave your opponent a significant 1.2 advantage, which is already a very substantial amount if you are competing in a serious tournament and you genuinely need a decisive edge to effectively beat your formidable opponent, right? So what happens? Yeah, let me just go back here to the moves. Yeah, let's take a moment to carefully observe and analyze exactly what he meticulously did here in this particular instance. In this case, he went ahead and captured here. Okay, let's go back here, guys. I'm leaving here. There we go. Now we're back here. So he went ahead and with a 1.2 advantage, let's see what our friend did. He plays a knight that was already developed to make an exchange with a piece that, in other words, this was the time for him to be developing another piece, to be castling, to be making another move, and he wastes this tempo by giving up a piece for an exchange. It wasn't the right time to be making exchanges, I'm telling you. If you don't have your pieces developed, don't try to exchange, don't try to attack. You just handed the advantage to your opponent. What he had lost with that tempo here, you just gave it back. And then, of course, he's going to capture. He played the bishop, right? Which was the purpose of the fianchetto. He protected this central square. He developed this bishop here because it can't just stay there. It's blocked, right? He moved the queen out of the way and castled. Alright, so what would have been the best move here? It's not a big mistake, but he could have played the queen to this d2 square and then castled to the opposite side because this is a good position for you to attack him. He's got a bishop just sitting here while you've already developed all your pieces and he's still got a bishop stuck there. In other words, if you manage to castle to the opposite side and push your pawns forward aggressively, you'll be able to attack him more effectively, right? And here, another thing, just like I told you before, this wasn't the right time to trade pieces. Here, your advantage increased again. Why is that? This was the moment for you to be developing your last bishop, the one that's still missing. Is there a piece that still needs to be developed? Don't go trying to attack just yet. You captured, he captured, and here you actually helped your opponent. So look, when you make this move here, you're helping him do exactly what he wanted. He wants to move this knight out of the way to open up a file for his rook. You helped him. So you could very well have done this here and removed that pinned piece from the knight. But no, you helped him develop his pieces exactly the way he wanted. And now he's going to do just that, which is the right move. Look, he took control of the center, brought a piece up for the rook. Now he's going to start attacking along this open file here. Now you're going to do this, but it's already too late. As I'll tell you again, chess is a race. If you fall behind, you've already lost time. If you know how to make the most of your moves, there's nothing your opponent can do. You gain tempo, trade pieces, and there's nothing left for them to do. You've already won a pawn, you've attacked, and there's nothing else they can do. Alright everyone? You did the right thing, which is castling. If you start working on a plan, you should try to see it through until it works. Only if, look, check this out. And here he helps again. You have to ask yourself, what does my opponent want with this move? He's trying to open up, he comes and helps me do exactly what I want. You're not obligated to exchange pieces. Every time there was a chance to exchange pieces here, they did. You don't have to do it. Most of the time, when you exchange these pieces, you're actually helping your opponent develop. He captured, played the queen, right? Brought the bishop back. Yeah, moved the bishop back one square because here he could have advanced. That's why the advantage decreased, but nothing too serious. And here, this is truly the most serious and significant mistake of the entire game, right? He completely gives up all his hard-earned advantage and foolishly exchanges. Look closely, and surprisingly, the opponent didn't even notice this crucial moment. Why is that? He could have easily started a powerful and decisive counterattack right here, but he didn't calculate anything at all. He just simply played without any strategic thought. Then the advantage shot up again, and again he didn't calculate. There were attacks here, but he didn't realize they should have been made earlier. Here's the crucial thing, look. Here he was going to try to advance his pieces. Try to bring a bishop over here, you see? Play, move a bishop over here, give a decisive check here, and then bring another bishop over here. Actively attacking, right? This strategic maneuver aims to gain a significant advantage on the board. Look folks, now here's the thing. What you need to tell yourselves about the critical moment. I'm going to show you the time here. Look, let's pay attention to the clock. 14:59. 14:59, right? Yeah, he has 15 minutes left to play. This was the moment to stop and think. You don't need to be thinking about chess the whole time, every moment, spending a minute, 2 minutes on the opening, when the opening is for you to know it and already have it mastered, like, I don't know, about 10 moves ahead. When your opponent makes a critical move that you have to calculate, you have to understand, you have to know what you're going to do, like, I don't know, bring the queen back here to propose, trade everything and end up with an advantage you have to calculate. You have an advantage now of 2.28, right? And he didn't calculate when he needed to. He just made a move without spending any time. Same thing here. Look, he spent 15 seconds and there's still an increment. He didn't spend any time at all. Now just look at this. A one game like this, where you just had to play calmly, he turned the advantage around. Why? He's going to take the bishop here and win the position. Look, so another point. You need to calculate during critical moves. You can stop for 1, 2, 3 minutes here. You could even spend up to 5 minutes. There wasn't a single moment when he needed to calculate. Spend a little time, of course, you're going to play here. And now here the player has to calculate what he's going to do next. This should have crossed his mind. Why hasn't he developed his bishop until now? This should have gone through his mind. This should have crossed his mind. He should have calculated. Now was the moment for him to calculate. Let's see how long he takes to play. He didn't even spend 10 seconds on that move. He didn't even spend 10 seconds on the move. Seriously, guys? Yeah, so he lost. When you realize you're in that move, what is a critical move? It's the move where you need to make an important decision that will change the pawn structure, where you have several pieces attacking and you need to know which one you attack first. you're going to sit down and calculate, okay, if I do this, he does that, and then I'll take here, and then at the very least, you have to make an estimate of what you're going to achieve. 2, 3 moves ahead, 4 moves, 5 moves ahead, and always looking at the pawn structure. How is it going to end up? Oh, I did this. How is my pawn structure going to look? How am I going to reach the end game with this move? Calculate in these key moves. It doesn't have to be every time. On the key moves, that's when you stop and calculate. And here, she just gives the game away completely now. A game of hers, a one game, totally won. She underestimated her opponent. Why? He can play the queen here, giving check, the king moves, and he can even capture with the queen, because there will be nothing she can do. All right, and here he's still going to promote. He's going to trade queens. If she does nothing, he's going to take here. So here he lost a completely won game. If the opponent, if he had stopped the checkmate, if he had stopped to calculate, he could have converted this game. What happened? Again, he didn't use the critical moment to calculate. Look here, you stopped, you have a move. Why do you have to play fast? You have 15 minutes to play. Got it? You don't need to play in a rush. He played a 15-minute game with a 10-second increment. In other words, you have to calculate at key moments. And then he gives it away again. He gave it away, didn't calculate, gave it away again. And here our friend manages to finish it off. All right, everyone? Yeah, that's it. All right. That was the analysis of today's game. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll try to bring more of this. If you're not subscribed to the channel, subscribe here and drop your link, your game on chess.com, your username there, and I'll go over your game. I'll analyze your play, see what you can improve. All right? If you want, just write your username here, add me there, and say, hey, Davey, I want you to analyze my game, and I'll do it for you. All right? I hope you enjoyed it. Give the video a like, because that'll really help YouTube promote it, okay? We're just getting started. Let's see if we can reach 1,000 subscribers or 2,000 subscribers. No, we've already hit 2,000, guys. Now let's reach 5,000 subscribers, all right? Yeah, I want to thank everyone who subscribed to the channel all this time and is still here. All right? Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks to everyone who followed along. Thanks. We're in this together.